What's going on, brothers? Welcome back to the Men on a Mission podcast, the podcast where we talk about freedom and purpose, finding our purpose through motorcycle riding. I want to talk a little bit today about the winter months, what you can do during when it's a little too cold outside to get out there because of the ice and the snow. During the winter, it can be a little frustrating, especially if you're somebody like me who likes to ride as much as they possibly can. But it's the perfect time to start planning those rides for the spring and the summer months. You can use this downtime to map out your dream rides. You can research some routes and destinations, places you might want to visit and eat, see, and get your gear together, get your bike into perfect riding conditions so you can maximize your time during the summer months. One of the big things I've done during these winter months is sat down and created Freedom on Two Wheels. And what it is, it's a guide to kind of help new and novice riders kind of go about planning those long rides you want to take during the spring and the summer months. It's a guide that helps you plan your routes, gives you resources to plan your routes, get you in the right mindset. And I also have a section in there where I show you how to go about picking some gear you might need, whether you need a new helmet, jacket, gloves, camping gear if you're into that. I'm not really into that. I tend to spend my nights in hotels or Airbnbs are more convenient for me. One of the bigger things is when guys are starting to plan these kind of rides is that there's a little bit of fear that goes along with it, because if you do it like I do, I go out alone and you're out there on the road alone on these highways and things, and it can be a little overwhelming. You're away from home. Maybe you've never been away from home by yourself like that before. So that was one of the main reasons I wanted to create something to kind of help people that are going to be in the same situation I was. I recently took a trip. I was gone for about 3.5 weeks by myself. Traveled through about 8, 9 different states. I enjoyed it, but I'm not gonna lie, it was kind of nerve-wracking to plan that. And that was one of the main reasons I created this guide, to kind of help guys in that same situation. So first thing you got to do is I understand and just acknowledge that the trip can feel a little overwhelming. Because like I said, I took a trip. The tentative plan was I live in Louisiana, was to get from Louisiana over to California, because I had always wanted to see PCH, Pacific Coast Highway, where it goes all the way from, I think, like south and from Malibu all the way up through Big Sur up into Northern California, towards San Francisco. So that was something that I really wanted to do, and that was kind of a catalyst behind me creating this resource to kind of help guys get through that scary part of it, man, because it can be a bit overwhelming. But the best thing about this is when you go through this process, it's the growth. Once after I did that ride, I felt like I could accomplish anything, man. I'm not gonna lie, there were some nights where I was there was a little bit of fear in there, going to all these different places and being on a motorcycle in a state where I was in states where I didn't even know anybody. But when it was all said and done, man, it was one of the greatest experiences of my life. And like I said, that was the catalyst behind me creating Freedom on Two Wheels, man. It's a mentor-like guide for beginners and even experienced guys, because experienced riders, we can always learn something new. The funnest part of doing these trips, planning these trips, is the route. Is planning the route and deciding where it is you want to go. The last big one I did last fall was from Louisiana over to California. I wanted to go up the Pacific Coast Highway. I think I started near Dana Point, right outside of Los Angeles. Followed the PCH up through Long Beach, and I think through Santa Barbara. got up towards San Francisco, and I think I went east from there and went into San Francisco because I wanted to see the Golden Gate Bridge. But anyway, Tools for like route planning stuff. I use Google Maps a lot. I use Reaver, which is a motorcycle route planning app. It's pretty great too. All kind of nice little tools and things in there. GPS, it has its own GPS in there too. So it's pretty cool. Stuff like that that I mentioned in the guide. So there was a lot of times when I stop at a gas station or a diner getting something to eat, and somebody find out what I was doing and they tell me, man, you should go check out this and go check out that. Go up this highway. Go check out this little mountain pass. So apps like that really give you an opportunity to be spontaneous, man. It makes it easy to reroute your route, so to speak. Another big part of planning these trips is getting your gear together. You have to decide what it is you're going to take, because this isn't like being in a car. You're not going to have a lot of space, so you have to really be strategic about things you plan to bring with you. And so I have some recommendations in the guide, like for helmets, for gloves, boots, jackets, things like that. So I have a section where there's budget, if you're more budget conscious, or if you feel like splurging, there's a section for that too, to kind of give you some ideas where to go, where to look for any of the gear that you need. And if you're into camping, I even have stuff about that too. So I'm not really a big camper. I tended to go towards the hotel and mostly Airbnb route. But however you want to do it, man, that's the thing about doing these trips. It's totally up to you. There is no right or wrong way to plan these trips, man. And to me, that's the greatest thing. There's nothing worse than when I go on vacation and I feel like I'm on a timetable where I have to do things at this particular time and have to be at this place. To me, that's not really a vacation. So anyway, back to this. I have a section, like I said, a section for gear that'll kind of steer you in the right direction, websites and things that'll help you along. Because without the right gear, man, you definitely want to have the things you need. Rain gear, especially if you're going to be doing stuff in the summer months, because you're going to run into a shower here and there. Another big thing is having the right mindset to do these trips. If you're human, man, and you've never done anything like this, there's going to be a little bit of fear. But to me, the fear is just to me, it led to excitement, especially as I got closer to the date. But I have a section in there that kind of talks about the kind of mindset that you need to have. It's doing these trips is not just about the destination. I know it sounds kind of hokey and cliche, but it's not really about the destination. It's what the person you're going to have to become to complete this trip, to do this. And I can remember when I got back after being gone for a little over 3 weeks. I felt like I could do anything, man. Being out there and having to depend on yourself, and it was, I'm not gonna lie, there was some fear sometimes, but it was also the sense of accomplishment I got after being able to do a trip like this. I don't think I've accomplished some things in my other things, big things in my life, but that was one of my biggest accomplishments. Just the person you become from doing something like this and knowing that you can kind of depend on yourself, man. The road will teach you all kinds of things about yourself. You think you know you now, but when you're out in the middle of a desert and there's nobody, there's no cars or anything around you, it's just you and a motorcycle, man. It teaches you a lot about yourself, and I can't recommend it enough to being able to put yourself in a situation where you have nobody to depend on but you. But anyway, there's a section talking about the mindset, getting yourself mentally ready to take on a challenge like this. So key takeaways from what you'll get in the guide. Definitely don't let winter pass without planning, especially if you even think you have an inkling of doing a trip like this. There's no better time than right now when it's snow and ice on the outside and you can't even really ride anyway, unless you live in Louisiana like I do, where you can more or less ride year round. But yeah, don't let the winter months pass without getting yourself getting yourself and your bike and your gear ready to plan and to do this kind of trip. Freedom on, like I said, Freedom on Two Wheels. It's a guide I created. Check it out. Shameless plug. Check it out. And it's not going to be perfect. And there's going to be some ups and downs. I remember there was a few times where I felt like, what am I doing out here? But looking back on it, when I got through with it, man, there was no place I'd rather be. Nothing I'd rather be doing during that time. So, shameless plug again. Check out the guide. There'll be a link in down below. Main thing I want you to take away from this video is that don't let the winter months go by without, if you're thinking about doing a trip like this, don't let this time pass by without getting yourself prepared for it. Because as soon as the weather breaks and it starts getting a little warmer, I'm going to be back out there on the road. I don't know about you, but I definitely want to be on that road as soon as possible to maximize these months before it gets cold again. So don't let winter pass without getting yourself ready. So focus on the journey, man. It's not going to be perfect. There's going to be definitely going to be some ups and downs. It might be some mechanical failures. You might be some mental things you have to go through, but the person you'll be on the other side, man, and there's nothing like it. You'll feel like you can accomplish anything. So, I think that's about it. I'm going to wrap up in a second. If you have any questions or comments, drop them down below, and I'll drop a link for Freedom on Two Wheels under the video, man. Thanks for checking it out.